everybody, Katerina Panopoulou from Artist Coaching, and this is an interview with Tai Weiban, sharing his story, how he started from doing music as a hobby into being a full-time music producer, producing music for singers. Tai, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's my pleasure.
Awesome. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us more about you and what you do?
Sure. So basically, I produce artists and singers remotely out of my second bedroom here in my apartment in Long Beach, and it's pretty awesome. You know, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, you know, people pay me money to actually make music for them, and that's such a cool thing. And I get to work with people all over the world too. I finished a track for a girl in Australia that just released last week. I've talked to people last week. I talked to somebody from Tucson, somebody from right here in LA. And then after this call, I'm getting on a call with a guy from New York City. So it's pretty exciting. It's exciting to be able to do that.
That's awesome. And that was actually one of my questions. And I wanted to specifically ask you, like, since you're working with people like from all over the world, where do you find your clients really?
I mean, they're basically just all from social media, all off of Instagram and stuff like that. And that's just where everybody ends up showing up. And
okay,
just all off Instagram.
So would you like to describe a little bit about your journey, like from producing music as a hobby into leaving your day job that happened, if I remember correctly, on the end of March, and you know, now being full-time music producer?
Yeah, I mean, basically, last year was a tricky year, I think, for everybody, of course, with the pandemic and stuff like that. But I was really just getting into production and kind of being in a place where, you know, I teach as well. I teach music to students, and it got to a place where I really wanted to push my music production and get paid to do it, because I thought that my music was at a point where it was going to reach, you know, it's a good quality enough that I thought I could get paid. Mm-hmm. But I sort of didn't have like a roadmap or kind of any idea of how to go from this is something that I do for fun and this is something that I enjoy doing to how do I get paid to do this? I mean, it seems like I just didn't know how. How do you do that? And that's when we met. That's when, and we started talking, and I got on that first call with you, and I think I knew right away from that first call that this was going to be a good fit, and you would be a person who, you know, you were serious enough about what it is you do that I could tell that you were going to be a person who could help me get to that point where I was getting paid to do it. So
I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that, and I'm even more happier, you know, that you made the decision to work together. So what is your current offer, Tai? Okay.
My current offer in terms of price, or
no, in terms of what is your offer, what is the thing, you know, that separates you from many other producers out there, you know, simply producing work?
Well, my current offer as it stands is that I basically that people who want to make music, who don't have all the fancy studio equipment or whatever, or even know how to play an instrument, can work with me, and I'll make them and put them a track together. The girl that I worked with from Australia, she actually is not a musician. This was her first song, that she had ever put together. She's always been a poet, but she always liked to sing. But in terms of her musical ability, she doesn't play any instruments or anything like that. But we took her basic little idea of a song and with the words and some singing on it, and we kind of built it out from there. She sent me that first demo, and we took that first initial idea and blew it up into a full production that I think is, I like to say radio ready or release ready. Get it from that small idea into the finished product where it sounds like it can play anywhere. So
okay. So who would you say is like your ideal client to work with?
Well, my ideal clients to work with, I think they typically, I like them to at least listen to my music, because I've put out a fair amount of music over this last year. That's both my songs and songs that I've worked with other artists. And if they like my stuff and like my productions, then I really want to work with them. But so I really make sure that people who I am going to work with at least have that understanding. Because I don't do every style of music. I think I do certain styles of music well, and I want people to go in understanding the style of music that I put out there. So if they listen to my music and they like it, then I'm willing to work with them. And that's kind of the basic thing. And yeah.
Okay. What I love about, your journey is that, you started like your first month, and if I remember correctly, was in March, that you made $3,500. And ever since, you are consistent, finding clients. Like as soon as you create, like you set up a goal, I want this amount of clients, you find the clients and you move forward. Like last week you had like 2 phone calls with people and 2 clients. So you're really killing it. That definitely shows that you are doing a great job. So what would you say are like the main thing that help you get results and start and scale your business?
I think setting specific goals for me is a good thing to kind of keep me on track. So having specific numbers, like I'm gonna try and message 20 new people today, and I'm gonna do that all week. If I do 20 people every day, then that's 100 people that I talk to in a week. And even if it's 1 or 2 people out of that are going to be potential clients, that's still 1 or 2 people, and that's potential money in the bank. So having that is a really important thing. Having specific numbers that I can aim to achieve. And then number 2, I think it's like one of the things that's been most surprising to me about working with you and working with artist coaching is how much mindset really makes a difference. It's because in all honesty, when we started together, I didn't think that I didn't think that I could work as hard as I am to make this and to get clients and to make all these tracks. That's kind of the surprising thing, that just having the mindset that you're going to do something and putting yourself in that place that these ideas are possible. I can go from being somebody who does it for fun to somebody who makes money doing it. That's a big shift, and I wouldn't have guessed it. I wouldn't have guessed that mindset makes that possible. So
yeah, and that was actually like my next question. What are like the things that you learned that help you get results? Like if it was like mindset or strategies, or maybe both.
yeah, I definitely think mindset is a big part of that. I think when we first started, I had a lot of kind of like blocks in my head Like, I think I would get to a point where I would have an idea, and then I would say like, no, I can't do that. I have all these excuses kind of built in my head. This isn't going to work because of this, because, you know, all these reasons I had lined up that were kind of self-sabotaging myself. And that's, you know, that wasn't a good thing. It stops you before you even start. Like,
Mm.
before I even began the process and began the journey of taking these steps to make my business, I was already setting myself up to lose out on that.
Mm.
But the mindset exercises really helped. First of all, helped me see that I was doing that, because I wasn't, you know, as a person, I wasn't even aware that I was doing that. And then second, it helped me stop having that negative mindset and stop saying to myself, oh, I can't do this because of this, I can't get clients because I'm not proven, I'm not good enough, whatever reasons. they I could stop doing that because of the mindset training that we went through. So yeah, so that was absolutely transformative and helped set me up for success.
That is super interesting to hear, because everybody comes for the strategies, but then, you know, like when I ask you, the first thing that you mention is the mindset. So I'm glad that I'm working on both. Any other takeaways from our work together?
Um, I mean, yeah, bouncing off of that strategies, I do remember specifically thinking, like, when we first started talking, I remember like thinking to myself, why is she bothering me with all this mindset stuff? I just want the strategies. And I think that's kind of a funny thing, because I think it's like, if you have, like, I think a lot of people think like, if you just have this formula that do this, do this, do this, and then you're going to be successful, you know. But that's, if you don't have the thing that I came to realize, if you don't have the mindset and you're not able to see yourself as successful first, then all the strategies in the world aren't going to help you, because you're going to self-sabotage yourself and you're not even going to be able to accomplish it. So yeah, that's what I think about the strategies versus mindset. I mean, obviously you have to have both,
Hmm.
but it going in, I was the same way. I was just like, give me the strategies. Why are we bothering with this mindset stuff? And then I, going through the mindset exercises and doing that work, I was like, wow, I think all of these negative thoughts all the time, and I totally am self-sabotaging. But yeah, that was a big part of my journey to get to where I am now, was
Awesome.
those mindset.
Would you recommend others working with me, Tai?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely, as a producer, I could vouch for your service, and I see it as a positive thing. You know, you definitely are a positive influence in terms of pushing me to grow as a professional, and as a producer, and all that stuff. So uh, for my work, yes, I definitely see it. And for others as well, I see the success that you've done with a lot of other people, and it's really kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see, be part of the community, because I think everybody has a little different journey, and you can see people here. People are on different parts of their sort of development.
Mhm.
Like, some people might take longer with the mindset things, and some people might take longer with the strategy things, and people have different levels of work that they're doing. And so, but it's cool to see just everybody develop and grow, and kind of go from a place where they are just doing things for fun, and then they start to slowly start to make themselves a little more professional. So that's a great part of what you do as well.
Yeah.
The community.
I'm super happy to hear that, because this is like my vision for this community. You know, that was like from the beginning my vision, to see this community to grow and progress over time. So who do you think artist coaching program would be like a great fit?
I mean, obviously producers, it's really good for. I think that you've had success with me as well as others. You know, Adi is doing a great job. Doug, who was talking earlier today, he was doing really good. So producers, obviously, I think artists and performers, because there's people in the group like Everett, who's definitely upped his game. You know, yeah, so producers, artists, performers, anybody who wants to really just take their music to the next level, take their music, their art, whatever it is they do, to that next level. Even coaches, you even coach coaches, right?
Yeah.
I see coaches that you have helped out, and I see all the good work they're doing too. Yeah.
So why should someone who is listening to this interview take action now?
I mean, you got to start somewhere. You got to really start and make that commitment to yourself. It's because it is kind of a scary thing. I think it was a little bit. I got nervous. I mean, in all honesty, I got like a little nervous and a little like excited, and I felt like I was getting on a like, you know, like an amusement park ride, like you know, that excited feeling that you get right before you ride on a roller coaster or something like that. It's a little scary, but you got to make the commitment to yourself, and if you really want to take it your dream to the next level, you just got to do it. You got to take that step.
So what's your next goal in terms of your business?
I want to get, when we started initially, I think we put the goal that I was going to get to 5K a month off of production, and it's not that far off. And we had said that in a year I would get there. So I'm set up for October. I think October 12th was the day that we had our first phone call. And I remember that because I have a Post-it that says the day that everything changed, October 12th. And so if we can get to that date and I'm making 5K a month off of production, that's my goal. And,
all right.
And we're pretty close. It's not that far off.
No, it's not that far at all. You're super close. I mean, it's just a little bit of mind switch just to get there. I don't believe you're gonna have any more difficulties, because as soon as you set your mind on something, you simply get it. It's amazing. So what would be your number one piece of advice for other producers, you know, who are trying to make it starting out?
I mean, besides just going to you and doing artist coaching.
Yeah, besides that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important to set goals for yourself, and really important to kind of have those benchmarks and have that data so that you know that you're improving at things. And I think that's the number one thing. And dig out time that you can really work on it, perfecting your craft and making things better, because it is a long process. It's not something that happens overnight. And I think a lot of producers, me as well, I get sucked up into the mindset like, oh, if I just have this new plugin or this new piece of gear or this new whatever, something that I could spend money on, then everything's going to be perfect. But that really is not that important. What you need to focus on is what you have and making it work for you. So any piece of gear you have, make it work for you. You know, I know a guy, I was talking to a guy online, he makes production and makes beats that sound like professional quality, and he does it on an iPad. And I was like, that's incredible. But it's the only reason why there's people like that exist is because they work hard and they stick to it, and they don't get uh, uh, sidetracked by having the next shiny piece of gear. So
absolutely. So Tai, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm so happy to see your progress like over time, and can wait to see more in the future. So if people want to know more about you and what you're doing, where can they find you online?
well, they can visit my website is taiwyban.com. That's just my name, TAIWYBAN.com. And then also I'm on Instagram. I'm tai.tunes, TAI.tunes, like music. And yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I mean, it's great to just over the past 9 months or whatever it's been, just the amount of progress that's happened is really awesome.
Yeah, that's why I absolutely wanted, to do this interview. So thank you so much for being here, Tai.
Thanks for having me, Katarina.